Good morning and welcome to Fight CPS with your host, Bob Pace. I am extending a warm welcome to all my family out there and all the people that have been on my show. Been approximately 2,500 people I'm talking to. I've been doing this live stream twice a day for 22 months. That's over a year and a half. I started in October of 2023. And I'm here to help you with your fight against CPS. What I call CPS is the Child Protection System, but it has many different names. And so I want to make it simple, so I just call it CPS. So when I'm talking about CPS, I mean over all the names. For instance, North Carolina has 100 counties. California has 58 counties. You wonder why. North Carolina is not as big as California, but California has counties that are far spread. We have areas in deserts and areas in California that is not populated. So anyway, um, this is a worldwide live stream. Now I'm on at 8 o'clock in the morning. I got my computer that wants to do an update. Oh, jeez. This is a terrible time to do this, but I got it postponed that update there. And I also got children in the background. And so um, uh, I'm here not as an attorney, but here as a loving father and a husband. I have 41 years of marriage experiences, and I've have 61 years of life skills, and I've helped raise 6 children. I too was a victim of CPS, and that's what the problem is. It's very corrupt. It's found in every county, in every state. It's found worldwide. This is a worldwide podcast. Not only am I on at 8 o'clock in the morning, Saturday and Sunday, during the weekdays, I'm on at 10 o'clock in the morning. Then in the evening, I'm on at 7 o'clock. Good morning, Dorothy Cook from North Carolina. She's part of my family. I'm glad that she's here. And she is helping me to emphasize what I'm saying by making a summary in the text messages. And she has also has had a horrible case too in North Carolina. Now I'm surprised I'm here. It is kind of hard to be here, but I'm here because I know that you all depend on me, and I want to help you. Now my times are. I already gave you the times, but they're all done in Pacific Standard Time. That means the West Coast of California. I'm south of Los Angeles in a place called Surf City, USA, 3 blocks from the ocean. And I'm trying to relate my experiences to yours and try to help any of you that has a question. I have a new computer now up and running, and it should be working better. It should be working better. Um, they fixed it. Anyway, I'm very sincere and very concerned about CPS because so many of them, I'd say 50% of the government entities are rogue, meaning that they're bad. They're only interested in your money and taking your children when they don't need to. See, children are not supposed to be taken from family unless they're in danger, unless they're unsafe. But lately, they just seem to take children no matter what. How could how could 3 kids in school be in danger? Are schools now in danger? That's where my kids were when they took them. They weren't in danger at home. They were fabricated and it was drawn out. It was really a bad experience. I don't wish it on anybody because it does a lot to traumatize you. I am traumatized. I know my wife is too. And our children are too, because they had to go through it. Now, as I said, I have 6 children. 3 of the older children, and they have their own families. And 3 are the younger children. And they're the ones that were stolen, alienated, and trafficked into foster care. Everything that went wrong went wrong. Everything that could go wrong went wrong. I tried to fight the director of the Child Protection Services in Orange County, got nowhere. He loved his Taj Mahal home there in the Emerald City of Oz. It's a green looking structure with Ritz everywhere. His workers don't even work there. His social workers work elsewhere. And that's another thing. You never want to go to their office without an attorney because they will eat you alive. You never want to talk to them without an attorney. In fact, if you determine that it's a legal matter, that should be your warning sign that it's time to shut up and get an attorney. And you'll probably say, I can't afford an attorney. I know, I couldn't afford one either, but I did. Unfortunately, I sold my forever home. Quick sell it, quick sell it. Pay off the mortgages, and whatever you get left, a little bit you get left. And you get that invested into an attorney. Now I have, we have a new guy here. Dorothy, you put lie, Lie now. I think you want to put live, Live now. My live stream is not a lie. I'm very much alive here. And we have a new gentleman in the room named David Hammond. I got the lead attorney fired in Ocean County, South Carolina. Well, okay. Who is representing you? What is the RICO lawsuit recently filed against CPS St. Louis about? I have no idea. I have to look that up. Dorothy, I have to look that up. Anyway, we have North Carolina represented, South Carolina, and I'm from California. So we have 3 different people there. And the reason why you don't want to talk, everything you say will be used against you. Everything you be able to see against you. Now, you had asked me, Dorothy, what is the RICO, the civil rights suit against St. Louis Family Court? Okay, here's the latest on it. A Missouri attorney had filed a sweeping federal lawsuit accusing multiple state officials, family court judges, commissioners, attorneys, and guardians, and litem of participating in an organized and criminal enterprise within the St. Louis County Family Court. Now, that's pretty heavy. That sounds pretty heavy. The suit filed in the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Missouri involves the racketeer influences and corrupt organizations Act and the Civil Rights Act alleging systematic corruption, extortion, wire fraud, obstruction of justice, and perjury designed to manipulate custody outcomes for financial and political gain. Wow. Matthew R. Grant, a former litigation partner in one of the 100 largest law firms in the United States and founder of Stop Missouri Corruption, contends the allegation enterprise, dubbed his complaint as the Clayton Kids for Cash scheme, retaliated against him for exposing corruption, cumulative in the loss of nearly all custody of his teenage sons, despite his proven sobriety and prior history of joint custody. Before the legal battle in March of 2024, which is a year ago, Grant shared equal custody, averaging about 15 nights a month with his two children, according to the complaint. After publicly raising corruption allegations to the Missouri Court of Appeals and Missouri Supreme Court, his custody was reduced to one overnight per week and is now at risk of being cut to 2 nights per month. The lawsuit names numerous defendants, including St. Louis County Presiding Judge Bruce F. Hilton, former Commissioner Mary W. Kriegs, guardian ad litem John Fendley, the children's mother Rebecca A. Copeland, her attorney Maria Bodie, and two relatives of the children and others. Grant alleges that Findley attempted to coerce him in a recorded June 2 phone call offering to restore custody if Grant would possibly recant his corruption complaints. When Grant refused, he said Findley retaliated by recommending further custody reductions. Grant asserts that the defendants have used false pleadings, fraudulent court orders, and perjury to justify restricting his parental rights and to punish him for refusing to settle on terms favorable to the mother. He cites a series of incidents, including what he calls fabrication allegations from Copeland during trial, such as claims of sexual coercion and threats to harm the children that were never raised in the deposition or early testimony. The complaint alleges that the corruption is long-standing and protected by political connections, including ties between the judges and attorneys involved in the case. Grant claims he has obtained text messages, court transcripts, recorded conversations, and internal communications evidence that he plans to prevent witnesses from other cases who experience similar pattern of conduct. He also claimed the scheme exploits children as leverages in custody disputes to generate excessive legal and guardian ad litem fees, forcing unfair settlements and retaliation when parents resist. Grant filing describes prior efforts by others to expose similar conduct that failed due to judicial immunity defenses or sufficient pleadings. Now, hopefully, y'all can hear me okay. Are you all hearing me okay? Hello, are you guys hearing me okay? Let me remind everybody in the room, when we text a message, please follow the directions I put up on the screen. Also, if you're from the United States, don't worry, you have to put the country. That's for people. I have 22 countries outside the United States that have talked or texted on this show. So that's the message for them. So please follow that direction. I have the banner there. Now, I've taken a break from that case that Dorothy asked me to come up with. Okay, good, Dorothy. I want to make sure you're hearing me because when I add another tab there. Now, David Ham is from South Carolina, and he's got friends on Facebook that said they would die without their kids. And the judge had the woman admitted in a psychological hold. I know the feeling. I have a lady named Leica in South Africa that has PSTD. I myself have it. It's a horrible feeling when the traumatic and serious events of your children are stolen. Now, this will be your first merits hearing. Now, you said you did all this without a lawyer, but my case was adult protective custody, and they did it on a second time at winning the first time. They got upset and came back and took my mama again. My motion is intervened will be heard September 9th. Well, I'm glad that you're doing that, David. But we have to be careful on using um, profanity in here. I know that some of the words you think are okay, but I can't have you use that kind of words. So because I'm protected here because I have everything there. But anyway, David will have his first hearing coming up. I agree, Dorothy. That sounds like something we've done. This Reichel civil lawsuit. It is so bad. I never heard of this. Now, the family court case in March is issuing an order of sua sponte, which Grants calls unprecedented, an indication of the seriousness of his allegations. Despite this, he says retaliation has continued. He remains under a gag order prohibiting discussing of the case with his children. Grant 6 seeks injunctive relief to reform court practices, damages for harm suffered, and oversight by an impartial federal judge. He maintains his case is not about a custody dispute, but about dismantling what he calls an organized crime enterprise operating in the color of law in Missouri family courts. That's pretty serious. That's pretty serious. This case is not about custody disputes. Grant said in a provided statement, it's about dismantling an organized criminal enterprise operating under the colors of law of Missouri family courts and restoring constitutional rights to Missouri families. That is amazing. I don't know how long that's going on, but this is sad because I don't know what was the end of that whole thing. I don't know what the end of the thing was about that thing in Missouri. Let me see something here. Huh. Okay, I was hoping that maybe it had something about that case. So the case has been filed against the St. Louis CPS, to be around short, and apparently it's filed underneath the RICO Act. And for people that don't know about the RICO, I should tell you what that stands for. RICO stands for the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organization Act. It's a United States federal law that was passed in 1970. It's designed to combat organized crimes by targeting criminal enterprises and their leaders, even if they don't directly participate in every crime. RICO allows prosecutors to charge individuals with racketeering activity based on a pattern of illegal actions rather than requiring proof of direct involvement in specific crime. So that's what the RICO Act is. And this is what a um, attorney is filing in St. Louis, Missouri. And I guess the attorney has children, and that's how he got involved because his custody visits with his children was less and less. I guess they had a dispute. I don't know. I guess they're doing divorce or something there, and they have a dispute with the children. But that's sad that she has to go through that. Now, hopefully, you all heard that. Now, good morning, Carrie Simpson. I'm Sampson. I'm so glad you called me. She's from Brooke County in Georgia. And CPS gives a bunch of alleged allegations to the judge without hearing my side of the story. And now I have court coming up. Don't know what to do with the judge not listening. Uh, you do have a problem there. Now, if you're pro se, the judge has to listen to you and you got to lay it out. You got to take your exhibits, letter them A through Z. And with each exhibit, you got to have several copies. Give one to the clerk there, the bailiff. The bailiff is the sheriff. He'll give it to the judge. And what you do is you systematically go through each exhibit. Now, the exhibits are a letter or a person you have there present. I mean, if you subpoena someone to be there, then they can talk. But all this has to be organized by you as pro se, unless you can get yourself a qualified attorney. Your court appointed attorney has done nothing for you and will do nothing for you. It is a disadvantage to have a court appointed attorney because the judge won't talk to you. Because the judge is a referee and only talks to the plaintiff and the defendant attorneys. He'll not talk to parties that are part of this terrible thing you're going through. Carrie, it's wrong what they're doing. Now, Dorothy has a question for David. From Dorothy's from North Carolina. David's from South Carolina. She's asking, did they ship your child to a place inside the same county, the CPS case, or did they were made in? I mean, I don't understand. Uh, David, you said that your childs were taken away from you. Well, you said they're no longer living in where the alleged crime happened. Let me try to adjust it there. Well, if I can make it a bit brighter, I'm trying to. Oh wow, my contrast was way down. Don't know why it was down like that. So I had to go there and fix it. All right. Now I that is to be a guest, and you can email my show producer, and my show producer can put you on this live stream. I'm using StreamYard as the software that uses YouTube to um, transmit the live stream. Okay. Now I'm going to put my phone number up. That's another way you can interact. My phone number is up there, 626-698-0990. So you can call in there. Now, David says, no, Dorothy, they shipped my mother 200 miles away. I'm confused, David. Um, why did ship your mother? I mean, are you one of the children that was under the age of 18 that was in foster care? I'm really confused now, David. What does your mother have to do? Is your mother the your parent and you guys were having problems and your children were taken from your mother? Now, Dorothy says the RICO Act influence and Corruption Organs Act is a 1970 federal law. Yep. Thank you, Dorothy. Thank you. So, anyway, I'm trying to understand it better, David. David's from South Carolina, Dorothy's from North Carolina, and I'm from California. Now, my number's up and I can take calls. I'd love to talk to you about your case. I want to thank the emojis that you guys are leading with me, which is love from Michelle Riley. Well, thank you, Michelle. I appreciate it. I need all the support and hugs and loves and stuff. So keep the emojis coming. I appreciate it. You can do thumbs up or you can do stars to support the program. Good morning. You've reached Bob Pace on live stream. How can I help you?
Good morning, Bob. Bob, it's Diane. I just want to say good morning, Bob. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can, Diane. You may have to turn my background down because it's double echoing.
I turn it down. Okay. I just saw the one comment from Carrie. That's my concern. They're just going to bowl over you and not listen. You need a really good attorney.
Well, Carrie's been on my show. She really can't. Carrie is really hard pressed because they've really done a number on her. And it's wrong because they haven't heard.
Do it to everyone.
Yeah. Oh, I know that. Dorothy just shared a case about the RICO case in St. Louis, Missouri, where a guy that is, I guess, a lawyer, and he filed a civil lawsuit underneath the RICO Act against the judge, the CPS, and the lawyers, I guess, connected with that.
Oh, RICO.
David, I don't know why it says it was busy.
Like
David, hold on one second, Diane. I have people in the room.
take the other one. It's okay.
No.
I'm just making a comment.
No, I'm glad you are. I'm glad you're on the phone. Hold on. Oh dear, I chased. Okay, Diane, you're still here. Good. Hold on. Okay, don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. I'm just trying to find out. See, 864. That you? No.
No.
Yeah, David, I see your number. Call. No, I just can. No, he isn't on the line. He tried to call, but apparently it didn't go through. But you called, and it did go through. So for people that don't know who Diane is, let me introduce you, Diane. Just slow down. Don't. Diane is a. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm so sorry.
That's okay, but I agree with her comment.
Yeah, I appreciate you calling in, Diane. Diane is from Illinois, and you take care. You can call me after the show if you like a private, okay?
All right, thank you. Have a good show.
I will. Okay. All right.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. I'm going to try to get David.
Okay, that's good.
That was Diane from Illinois. She has a case involving adult adult protective services. Her mother just recently died, and it's so hard for her. She's a beautiful person. I'm calling you, David, right now in South Carolina. Good morning.
Yeah.
This is Bob Pace. Is this David?
Yes, sir, it is. Thank you for calling.
Well, it's like I don't understand. You're at 8:40. Let me see what time. Okay, the reason why I was busy at the same time at 8:40, Diane from Illinois was calling me, and my phone only allows one call in. That's why it was busy, and I'm sorry, but she got off to give you time to talk on the show here. So I had some questions for you. You said your mother. Now, are you a child that went through CPS, or I'm confused why your mother was? Are you mother? It was in protective adult services. Is this adult protective services? Okay, now it makes sense. I thought you were talking about child protection services. Okay, we have another gentleman here named David from South Carolina that had adult protective services case, and I guess his mother was taken 200 miles away. Why did they do that?
Well, the first case, they accused me of not having the people. She got into a car accident and she was bedridden because she had a stroke during the car accident. But they accused me of not having the people in place that I needed in order to take care of her. But I did have people in place. But it took me a while to figure out how to intervene on her court case. But after studying the 8 pages of adult protective custody, I learned to intervene, and I drew up my intervention, and they accepted it. And the following case, I was allowed to bring my mama home. But then when she got home after 6 months, she had bed sores all over from the nursing home. The bed sores
Yeah.
But I had to send her back to the same hospital that they put the emergency protective on her at the first time. Well, when they did that again, when they saw their opportunity to do it again, they did it again and used the bed sores against me because the same hospital social worker decided that she didn't like the idea of my mama being home. I don't know why, because first off, I posted all my videos on her on Facebook and made her look like a piece of shit because they had no reason to take
Okay.
her.
All right.
But
Watch
after
the
that,
profanity, David. I'm sorry, but
I'm sorry.
yeah,
I'm sorry, sir.
I have
Please don't
rules
take
and
it personally.
guidelines I have to abide by, and I cannot have profanity on the show because it's a GP
I'm
rated.
sorry.
So it's okay. It's okay. You're very emotional, and I don't blame you for feeling emotional. I've had experience in adult protective services. My sister was in adult protective services, so I have had experience dealing with them. And just like child protection system, they are corrupt, and you may have entered a corrupt one. It's sad to say not all government entities are corrupt, but I want to say, at least in child protection service, 50% of them are. 50%, because my studies have shown that. But my question being is that I don't know on adult protective services how corrupt this is. So in South Carolina, the same people that do child protection service do adult protective service. The same people that do food stamps and medical and all the benefits they provide are the same kind of social workers. See, social services handles child protection, it handles adult protection, it also handles the food stamp program and the Medicare program or the medical assistant program. They help you get a job, they help you with clothing, they help you with a home, shelter. They're supposed to help you with all kinds of things, transportation, and so forth. And it sounds like you may have a rogue adult protection group of social workers. How did it first start with your mother? How did you get involved in adult protective services? Who made the
Okay,
who made the complaint?
Agape Care of South Carolina, Clifton, South Carolina, was the first one to make a complaint. When my mom said she had a bruise on her wrist, they said that I put the bruise on her wrist. She only had one bruise on her wrist where she had gotten out of the hospital, and I assumed that it was from an IV.
Now, my
But
question to you is: you say, now, was this a professional person that called in, or was it a lay person that called in?
it was a professional person. It was one of her home health care aides.
Right.
I
See, they're
talked to her
required
on
by
the
law.
video.
They're required by law to report any abuse or neglect. And that's not only for children, but for adults, especially for our seniors. And so this person
Yeah.
made the allegation. So the Adult Protective Service is investigating. And what did they say? They're charging you with placing the bruise on your mother?
Yeah.
And then
But the
that's where they took the mother and put her someplace?
no, sir. That's when I got investigated by the sheriff's department and the detective David Skelp of Oconee County
You don't want to use
found
names.
that.
That's right. Don't want to use names. But go ahead. A detective of the sheriff department investigate. Why is the detective investigating? Is it something criminal? I'm confused. Adult Protective Services is the one that does the investigation. Why is the sheriff investigating?
Because they the Department of Social Services passed it off to him.
Oh, really? That's an interesting new
Yeah.
thing. They're supposed to handle the case. They may think that some
Well,
criminal charges should be charged. Were you charged with a crime?
no,
So what did the sheriff do? They arrest you?
no.
So why did they take your mother?
Because after that, I called them to my mom. That the day they did that, they had 6 cop cars placed in front of my house.
Okay.
That night, my mama had a medical emergency, and I sent her to the hospital. They
Okay.
kept her for like 3 days or 4 days, might have been 5 days, and sent her back home. Well, after they sent her back home, she still wasn't 100%. So I'd say about 2 months later, I sent her to the emergency room again, but I had a doctor's appointment myself at this time. Well, when I sent her there by herself, they put a ITC on her, and the cops called me up and asked me why wasn't I able to take care of my mama. And I told them I was able to take care of her. She's doing fine. She just had something going on with her, and I didn't want to leave her at the house by herself. And that's when they placed the first emergency protective custody on her. It took me 6 months to get that one off. I was investigated again by that same detective, and those charges were unfounded. Now, when they took her the first time, she had no bed sores or anything, but the DSS lawyer never brought that up in this case because the DSS lawyer is only there to represent the investigator.
Right. Well, now, was this in criminal court or was this in dependency court? Dependency court. Okay. Yeah, that's the same thing. It's dependency or family, same thing. So, well, let me tell you, it's juvenile. Well, in CPS, it's juvenile. Now, in family court or dependency court, that's where adults is done there. But see, that's not a jury trial. It's not the only time that you be in a regular court, a criminal court, would be if a crime was committed and you're charged with a crime. Now, at any time, do they charge you with a crime?
Never.
So why? Okay, so they're investigating this, and how bad was the judge?
Well, I'm working on my third motion to intervene right now. They arrested my original investigator. The cops did. The cop that put the emergency protective custody on my mom this time had charges filed against the guy that was doing my serving the people that I'm supposed to serve, like the guardian ad litem lawyer, the DSS lawyer, and my mother's lawyer, which is a court-appointed lawyer that doesn't do nothing.
Right.
Sorry.
That's okay.
That doesn't do anything for my mom. Just collects a check and basically that's it. But
now, why is your mom have a court-appointed attorney? Why wouldn't your mom? Okay, for instance, are you legal guardian of your mom? Is that why you were involved?
I was until I sent her back to the same hospital for a feeding tube to be installed.
Then why were you dropped from legal guardianship of your mother? Why?
Because she had a car accident and she had a stroke, and that happened after I become a legal guardian after the first hearing.
Okay, so you're now are you still the legal guardian?
No, because they took her the second time.
I don't understand. Yeah. I'm missing something here. It doesn't sound right. First of all, police don't get involved. See, police are supposed to protect the social worker. They're not supposed to be carrying out the laws of adult protective services.
Well, when my mom went back to the hospital, the social worker, her name was Michaela, I won't give you her last name, but she was a part of the first hearing.
Oh, there's the problem you didn't tell me about. For all you listeners out there, social workers are now in the place of the hospital and emergency rooms or in urgent care or whatever. What you have to do is stay away from them. She has no right to talk to your mother or to you unless your mother says it's okay. If you're the legal guardian, you can tell the social worker to get out of the room and leave your mother alone.
this woman to show up for court because she showed up the second time to say that the bed sores weren't there at the hospital, but they were there. They were. My mother was complaining about back pain or problems with her backside, and when she come home, the biggest bed sore had been bandaged up, and the woman that was taking the wound care nurse that was taking care of the wound at the hospital just wasn't saying anything about the bed sores, but she was still doing her job at the hospital. And then she followed my mama home with the bed sores and was sleeping here, and actually started talking about it while she was here. Now, the first time she tried to take a picture of the bed sores, she said that her camera failed and it didn't produce an image, which is, I don't know how you can explain that. Most people have digital cameras now, and if it doesn't produce an image, you just retake it unless you didn't charge the battery or something like that. But I believe it was a cover-up to hide that they sent her to a nursing home that caused the bed sores. That's what happened in the 6 months while she was at that nursing home.
Wow.
Yeah, and they're trying to pin that on me. But when she got home, I took pictures of the bed sores, so I've got them already on my phone. I'm just waiting for to show the judge. Here's the bed sores that she came home with. There's video of me talking about the bed sores to the people, the physical therapist that came by. There's video of me calling I interviewed the nurse that wanted me to send my mama back to the hospital and get a feeding tube installed, and she said no, there's nothing that you could do to keep this from happening, and it's not my fault. So I'm just waiting to get my day in court so I can subpoena all these people and have them show up for court, because now they won't even talk to me.
Wow. Now these people you're talking. Go ahead.
South Carolina's been sued by the Department of Justice. Their DSS services has been sued because there's thousands of citizens that are being forced into nursing homes, and the federal government has threatened them back in December 2024 to take over their what is it? Their
legal rights.
Not facility.
Their legal rights.
They're going to. Yeah. Well, no, they're going to take over their operation. They're going to take over. They're going to place federal employees in the state South Carolina DSS because they're going to federalize it. That's what they're going to do because it's so corrupt and bent that they're literally just kidnapping anybody that shows up to a nursing or shows up to the emergency room. They're basically just kidnapping them and shoving them into a crappy nursing home. Like the first one they sent my mama to was the 5th worst in South Carolina with documented cases of abuse.
Wow.
Physical abuse.
Wow.
So that's what's keeping these crappy nursing homes open is the government is facilitating them with the Medicaid patients so they don't shut down.
Okay.
And I'm glad to expose it because I record everything. I record phone calls. I record anytime I'm on the phone with a government entity now, I record it. And South Carolina is a one-party state where you can record the call if you want to. You don't need the permission of the other party. You can record it yourself.
That's pretty good to know. I did not know that. In California, you can only do recording if you're in a public place. You can't be in their office or without their permission. So, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I know there's some states where you ain't allowed to do that, but that state's right or that state's laws don't trump the other states. Like right now, you're in California. You may not be able to record this conversation, but I can because South Carolina allows it. So,
okay, got you.
I recorded the conversation. There'd be nothing that California could do because I'm not in California.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
and the federal government don't get involved with little stuff like that. They can care less whether you're recording a phone call or not. But a lot of these, I have an appearance that makes me look like I'm a meth head because I'm missing most of my teeth, and they think that I'm just some type of drug addict, and they don't want my mama to be around me. But I'm not a drug addict. I've been sober now for over 10 years, or sobriety for 10 years. Own my own home. That's why it's so easy for them to come out of here. But after I get my mama home the second time, I'm going to sell this home and move to a different area of South Carolina because the DSS in South Carolina is about to be federalized, and until so, anybody whose child is being investigated or any elderly adults that are in the care, their rights will probably be violated. My mama told me that they were abusing her at the nursing home, that they leave her in the bed for days on end. She never even get out of the bed. And then when I show up to the nursing home, they call the cops on me because I wanted to check for bed sores and things like that. But the day after I got her home, I was taking her to her doctor's appointment, but she had another medical emergency, and I took her to the hospital. She stayed there 8 days after she left the nursing home because she had a severe urinary tract infection and those bed sores that they didn't write about. And she was severely malnourished. This is all documented in the hospital records. And they can claim that I caused the bed sores, but there was never any bed sores the first time they took her. So in this case here, it's just retaliatory. That's how I got the DSS lead lawyer for DSS fired, because she just did this because she didn't like me.
How is your mother?
I haven't had the chance to go down there. It's 200 miles away. I don't have a vehicle that'll make it all the way down there. I can make it to the courthouse with my vehicle, but I just don't trust it with me and my son to drive 200 miles from here and it bring us back home. But she's already been in the hospital once because they didn't put the feeding tube in her when I sent her to the hospital up here. They were supposed to put a feeding tube in her. They never did that. So they sent her to this nursing home without the feeding tube, and she got down there, and the employee must have fed her too quick or something, and she choked on the food, and she had to go to the hospital down there.
Wow. So there's a whole chain of events. I have about
it's definitely a lawsuit. After
right.
I get her home this time, which I'm sure I will, I'm
Right.
definitely going to sue the department. I'm going to sue a couple people personally. I'm going to sue the person at the hospital, and I'm going to sue the cop that got fired after he put the EPC on my mama the first time.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is definitely an interesting case, David. I'm glad you shared it with me. I did not know it was involving your mother. That's what was so confusing. Typically, I talk about child protection system because
your platform.
Yeah, go ahead.
Your platform is the spearhead for change. This is a corrupt system, and
yes,
you're right. About 50% of it is filled with corrupt. Like on the first EPC, on the way to the courthouse, the woman that investigated my mama the first time texted me with her phone, her government phone, that if it was up to her, my mama would go home. But the second she got on the witness stand, she turned her story around and said it'd be better for my mama to be in a nursing home. So this time, I get to put her back on the stand and ask her if this is her text message and why did she send that text message, and not just send that, but also accept me as a friend on Facebook.
Wow.
And that's the first investigator. When she came to my house, she hugged me, and we exchanged information. She's not necessarily proud of her job, so she had to tell me how to find her on Facebook, because she has the alias on Facebook that nobody knew that she's the adult protective
Yep.
and the one that shipped her so far away, so to make it difficult for me to reach her down there in, in Orangeburg, South Carolina. But I want to subpoena the original one that was investigated, the first one, who said that my mother, if it was up to her, my mother would go home, should go home. She texted that to me. She told me not to be so negative, to look on the bright side, and I said, I am. I'm glad that it's going to be over with today. That was October the 14th, I think, when they put it on her the first time. But it's going to come to pass where all this gets exposed, and the DSS in South Carolina will be federalized, and they'll see
Okay.
the truth. The truth was for us.
Okay, I'm going to have to wrap up the show because my running time is almost up and I have a short video to run. But David, I like you to keep in touch. I like you to call back tonight if you like at 7 p.m. to talk further, or if you want to call again tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Those are Pacific Standard Times. And that'd be
Yes,
great.
sir.
And I'm glad you called in. I'm glad you're reaching out. It is.
I'm glad you've got this platform for people to call in and get advice from, because this is the way we win, is by
You're right. You're
communicating.
right. And also, you have to understand is that I have quite a large family of people that come back here regularly and help one another. Like I have Christina Reynoso out of Nevada that helps us. I have Dorothy Cook this morning that's been reemphasizing what I'm talking about. And
Yeah, we need this type of relief, because a lot of
right,
people don't understand how they trust these lawyers that the court appoints them, and these lawyers are just as worthless as the or as worthless as the public defenders you get in a criminal trial. These it's
or a
sad to
CPS
say, but
trial, or a CPS trial. Don't forget that one.
yeah,
And a
very
CPS is
similar.
not a trial. A CPS is determined by one individual, the judge. And that's the bad
Yep.
part. Criminal still has jury trials. And so I don't
Yeah,
know adult protective services because I haven't done too much the legal part of it. So I don't know. I got to look into it and see what they do. But
have you ever heard of Nancy Schaefer?
yes, Nancy Schaefer was a very well known political representative or senator out of Georgia, and
Yes, sir.
she was the same age as me, and she spoke outspoken against CPS. She wanted to she wanted to have it complete stopped and rebuilt again. She was murdered. They say that
I know.
she said that
That
she
was a
committed suicide, but that's not the case. Her children you support that. But his problem is that people get close to corruption, they can get murdered. It's sad, but our government is bad. That's why you have something I have right now on my screen called DOGE. It's Department of Government Efficiency, and they're trying to investigate. Donald Trump started this organization because one of his campaign promises that he'd stop the corruptness in government. There's so much corruptness in government, wasteful money, and so forth. That's why he's investigating. I know they're investigating social services because I was talking to a social worker and a supervisor from Doge came on the line and asked me if I was getting my needs met. And I said, yes. I said, this is interesting. Who are you? Well, I'm a supervisor from the Department of Government Efficiency. We're investigating the the Orange County Social Services. Now, CPS is a part of that, but there's many different parts of social services. And so that's why it's kind of important. But I want to thank you very, very much for calling in, David, and sharing your story. And I hope that you keep fighting the way you're doing it. Dorothy Cook from North Carolina, thank you so much for the questions you come up with, the RICO case in St. Louis, Missouri. Thank you, Dorothy Cook, and for emphasizing all the things out there. And I think we had Carrie Sampson from Burke County, Georgia. Carrie, call back again tonight. I'll still help you further. I'm trying to think of ideas how they help you with your court appearance coming up there. Poor Carrie is wrongfully accused and they're trying to bury her. So thank you, Carrie, from South Carolina. Thank you for my 2 emojis, the care emoji by Dorothy Cook and Michelle Riley, and then the love emoji for Michelle Riley. Thank you all for listening. Remember to keep fighting for your children or your adult person that you're trying to fight for. God bless you all. And there'll be a brief video that will talk about Vincent Davis. Please listen. I'll be on again tonight at 7 p.m. This is David and Bob Pace signing off.
A vivid picture is encrypted in your mind as the critics get in line like they're witnessing a crime. But then you notice there's a shiver in your spine from the feelings of discontentment and bitterness combined. Heartbroken when you listen to the judges, another kid's innocence corrupted. And if you go against it, it's destructive. Consider this predicament the toughest, but we believe in a system fit for justice. Child Protective Services only pretends to save it. The one solution for this is worthy of instant praises. 30 years of experience with relentless cases. Allow me to introduce him. This is Vincent Davis, defending you when they don't think a mother fits the role. Is it juvenile dependency or government control? Observe the pain in their eyes. It's time for us to realize we are the last one.